Just a quick one, kind of an update on progress here. I'm working on things that I recently, not so recently, actually shown on the board here. And as you can see, not much has been done. I only started back into it a couple of days ago. But made some progress here with this pick of the Avengers and Captain Marvel beating up on our boy, the Super Adaptoid. The nature horseback riding photo, got in some more work on the leaves and that sort of thing, and the trail. Did put in some more work on our Grim Reaper figure here. Really got to get a design worked out for the two doors that are opening in front of her. The Silver Surfer tribute Jack Kirby, that's for the that graphic novel that came in the late 70s between Stan and Jack. A lot of people didn't like it, of course, because it didn't restore the glory of the 60s series that they put forth. But I really like this shot. I recently got a better reference. I downloaded onto my laptop, so it gave me a clearer image. The image I was using was a really coarse, grainy, image that I simply took a shot at with my camera directly on the screen. Really silly, but now I've got a nice screenshot I can work with, so I can put in the detail, because actually these faces that are put in, that's more me than what the actual images are, because of the blurriness of my reference. So looking forward to patching that up. This will be easy to finish up here. Not so much on this one. I haven't done much with her yet. Thinking about a background. Actually, I thought about taking this figure and putting it in with this one here with the Reaper. Moused around the Captain America pick. Do know what I'm going to be doing for the backgrounds, but if you can see there, I've got two straps of his shield being used as like a harness, sort of thing. But I'm thinking about doing like one leather strap thick and one leather strap thin. So one would be for the hand and one would be for the. If you look at the strapping of the shield, even in the Marvel Universe Index, they show them as two straps that are the same girth and length and all that, but I don't think that would be correct, really. But I'm thinking about actually putting in my own idea of what those straps should look like. Something between two leather straps, one thick and short and the other one thick and long, yet stitched in with some sort of elastic strapping too, so that you can adjust it, but at the same time it's stretchy, sort of thing. I don't know, like a combination like you see on certain garments today, actually. But anyway, not so much to talk about there. But here's the one I really wanted to touch upon. This is quite a large work here, as you can see. Oh my! Let me take a guess. Oh, well, actually, we'll get to that in a second there. Well, it takes up. It takes up more than it takes up about 2/3 the overall height of my drawing table, and this is a large drawing table. This is a 4x3 drawing table. But anyway, this is more of a tribute to a cover from the Bronze era. And I think it's number 29. Fantastic cover, one of my favorites. I don't know. Lately, it's like one of my old-time favorites. So I kept looking at it, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to draw that fucker, I think I'd like to do that. You can't really... you can see some of the pencils here, but if you look, they're really coarse pencils. But what I've been doing lately is I just decided to manili it. So the lines that you can see coming up, right? You notice how there's not a lot of shading in that? It's all coarse and stuff. Well, since I got this kind of idea from, I don't know if you ever heard of this man, but his name was, I think his name's Bob Fujitama. He was a cartoon artist, came out of the war era, 1940s, comic book artist kind of thing. Started, I think, back in the 30s, but he was Japanese and American. His mom was American, his dad was Japanese. But anyway, yeah, he mentioned something that one of the things that he was considering was that, there's so much time wasted when, between penciling and inking, because in a way you're kind of doing it at the same time. But of course we know that most pencil works get inked by someone else, but not always, right? And he was saying that wouldn't it be just great to just do, get as quickly as you could to the inks as you possibly could. So I took that in mind. And I thought, why don't I try something like that? Like, if you look up here, you see I've already started inking some of the corners here, right? Along with the logo, the block letters. But you look here, and it's sparse. So the sparsity is for on the figure is for a reason. You could say what I'm doing here is taking a manili approach. And if anyone's familiar with Joe Manili was basically Stan's kind of ace in the hole for Marvel Comics just before Jack Kirby came along. Unfortunately, Joe Manili was killed in a train accident in a subway, and things would change. But one of the things John Romita mentioned in a interview that I saw, I think it was done by the comic book historians around the turn of the century. Romita was saying that he got a chance to see Joe work, and Stan had sent him over to spend some time with Manili to take a look at how he was doing things, because he was really banging things out quickly. And one of the things he would do before he'd start the inking process was he'd just take a fine liner, look carefully now, and just put a thin line on the overall work. You understand? Overall work, fine line only, right? And then, come in with your blacks and start bringing up your foreground figure, leaving your backgrounds in a thin line. And there was a technique he was trying to describe here. So I've been going with that a little bit here and there. I'll take the figure and just reduce it to some fine lines, and then go more elaborate as time goes on. Well, anyway, that's the process, and that's what's been going on so far with those. I'm thinking I might be able to bang that one out this weekend. And by the way, the Manili, not the Manili thing, but the Bob Fujitama thing, I would just say this. He wasn't one of my favorites, right? But I'll tell you, when it came to the interviews, he was one of my favorite interviews. One of the more colorful characters that you're going to find in all those interviews. And if you haven't had a chance, I'd strongly suggest you go out and give the comic book historian channel a chance and check out some of the many great interviews that they've stacked up over time. It's just great stuff. I'd highly recommend the Jim Shooter interview. Fantastic. It's oh God, what is it, 7, 8, 9 hours long in total. There are two of them. One was 7 hours and change, I think, and the other one was 3 hours. I don't know, something like that. But fantastic, the amount of information and the insights you get during that interview. Just great stuff. Anyway, just taking a peek, and looks like there's a lot more here to do. I thought about taking some photo copies of this process is like something I usually do with the self-indulgence series, right? But I thought, why don't I just, you know what? Since I'm thinking about finishing this off tonight, I don't want to have to go run and make all my copies and scan and this. It's on the board now. I'd really like to hammer it out. And that's what I think I'll do. I think I'll just start hammering it out, and I'll turn the camera on ever so often, or knock it off pause every so often to see how we're doing here. Like I said, I already started with some of the darks up here, but that's not India ink. That's actually just Sharpies, right? And if you notice, some of the stars, like all those circles you see, the series of circles, those are actually stars. They'll be on a black background, right? But you'll notice that some of them have a heavy outline like that. That's for a reason. Because I've taken the Sharpies and gone around the circles, and then I'll go in carefully with inks around it. Now, the smart way to go about that, since we're looking at black and white, it's going to be a black and white piece, would be to just black in all your stuff and then just go in and dab with a whiteout or a white acrylic the stars. That would be the smart way to do it. But brainy me, what I decided to do ahead of time was go ahead and place all these dots in their proper sequence, and I don't know. It's been a toss-up between rendering the actual picture, which is by Jimenez. I failed to mention. So a lot of the cover has been cut out, like the title portion or the figure block, if you would, that you usually find up here with the price and the Marvel Comics thing up here, stuff like that. Some of the caption work that would be down here, I've taken that out. So I just wanted to get the basic image for a poster size kind of thing. If you look, I've spliced some paper together. It's cheap photostat paper, like cheap paper, gotten, that I just happened to get, from a office supply store when I was making copies. It's got other stuff on the other side of it. In fact, I think some of it. Look, actually, it looks like some things are soaking through. But, I went poor man on it. Actually, I do have some paper this size, some higher quality paper, but since I thought it's going to be a black and white, I'm going to be using photocopies of it before I start my coloring process anyway. I thought I'd go with it and just poor man it out. Yeah, I started doing some of the inking down here on the moonlight sphere thing down here, whatever. But yeah, since it's just going to be, did I mention? Yeah, I think I mentioned that. This is not these. This is just Sharpies, right? It's not India ink, but I'm going to be applying India ink on it for the full, quality of blackness, like on this one here. You get a better black on it. It's not absolutely necessary, but I prefer it. It has a more professional look, and your photocopying comes out. The contrast is right. Like you get a more of a black line instead of a grayish tone. And so that's it for now. So we'll just press pause and go in some work from here during this weekend. Almost forgot. Yeah, the point of taking this Manili approach and when I put in my pencils, not going too detailed on all of this, is just basically to get a basic outline to do that, right? I figured if it's going to be black and white comic book art, then as original art usually is, then I can put in my shading as I go. The idea was to save time, but then I laid off of it anyway, wasting a lot of time. But the thing is, since I'm doing my own inks, I don't have to. I don't know. I'm thinking, don't do your full pencils, right? It's funny because sometimes my pencil works. I'll do them full blown, and then I'll go, I don't want to ink over those pencils. Look so nice, right? It's kind of an unprofessional approach, but so this time around, I want to do both. So that's what I'd start with, And then I'll go in with my brush, go in with my other fine liners, and put in the feathering, put in the black shadows, put in the black areas, all of that, and just go like that, elaborate piece by piece, you know. I think it's a bit ambitious to say I'd finish this tonight, but you never know. Might be, I don't know. Probably if I hammered it, I'd probably, I could probably guarantee it would be done by sometime tomorrow afternoon, because I see myself not, I don't know. I pulled all-nighters before, but I'm saying like if it got to be 12 or 1 o'clock and I decided to crash or whatever, get up in the morning, ate breakfast, and then hit it again, I'm probably looking at this afternoon. But I could be wrong about that too. It could extend into 4 or 5:30 tomorrow morning or tomorrow evening. I don't know. Not really the point though. Do want to get it done though, because it doesn't. Now that I haven't gotten all the spots, but now that I've mostly outlined all the drawn areas except this corner here where there's some flashy fire stuff. I don't know what. I don't know. Sorry about the shadow of the camera. That's from my light source being behind me. And some of the area here, which is just basic course line work. I don't know. If I were to start from the top here and just start working down, fists, then the head, the shoulders, torso, then the legs, and, I don't know, start at the top and work my way down. Should be okay, because by the time I get to these bottom portions here, I could just get out my ink pens, ink them over quickly, and then get in there with the brush. We'll see how it goes.